Good evening, students. Here I'm going to use some example sum for solving the min terms with the help the function having min terms with the help of k-map minimization. So I'm going to use a function. Let me write some function. Let f equal to, I'm writing in the form of sum as a sum of product min terms. So summation m of, randomly I'm choosing some numbers like 1 comma 2 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 8 comma 10 comma 11 comma 12 comma 14 comma 15. Okay, this is for a simple purpose. I'm just chosen some random number. Now in this function, whether this function consists of 4 variables or 3 variables or 2 variables or n variables, for this I need to identify how many number of variables are required for evaluating this function. So for this, what you have to do is you have to check what is the maximum number here. So when I check with this maximum number, this number 15 is a maximum number. Got it? So if I want to write number 15 into its equivalent binary value is 1 1 1 1, right? This is the equivalent binary value. How many variables, bit values are there? Bit value 1, bit value 2, bit value 3 and bit value 4. Totally 4 bits are there. Hence this particular function consists of 4 variables, 4 input variables. So how do I write? Like I can write the variable like function of a comma b comma c comma d. Alright, I have write the same function in this way. Okay, because this particular function, the same min terms, right, the same min terms is able to produce a wonderful circuit with the help of 4 input combination of input variables. Now what is the next step is I want to find the equivalent expression. What is the equivalent way, what is the simplest way to find the equivalent expression is you write each and min terms into the corresponding variables. Like for example, for a, for 1, how do you write? A bar, b bar, c bar, d. Like this I can able to write and keep on reducing it and you can able to find the simplified expression, right? But here what I said is I'm going to represent the same thing, minimize my function with the help of k-map. See here I have 4 variable, so I can use 4 variable k-map. Alright, what are the 4? Let me draw the 4 variable k-map like this. Like this, you just draw the 4 variable k-map boxes, and I'm going to split up rows with a variable called a and b that is belonging to this particular function, and c and d that is also belonging to this particular function. Okay, I'm here 2 inputs, like is a and b, totally 4 combination, that's just I can give a equal to 0, b equal to 0, or a equal to 0, b equal to 1, or 1 and 0 and 1 and 1. So totally 4 combination is possible from 2 input variables. But here I can write the same 4 input combination with help of adjacency bit of ways. That is, I'm going to use gray code systems. So here 0 0 if I started, then 0 1, then 1 1, then 1 0. When I look up it, this 2 bit and this 2 bit are adjacent with, because it has only 1 bit changes. And these rows, these two rows are adjacent because here 2 bits, only 1 bit is getting adjacent. Whereas when I take these 2 rows, only 1 bit is adjacent. But if I suppose to take this particular first row and third row, 2 bits are adjacent, not adjacent, because there is 2 bits are varying. Similarly, this row and this row, if I choose and means 2 bits are varying, so this row and this row are not adjacent to each other. Similarly, I have to write the same gray code for column wise in the form of adjacent bit only, or there's only 1 bit to be changes. Got it? Now I'm going to apply the I am going to substitute the min terms. If wherever the min terms are there, I'll substitute with a value called 1. If there is no values in the min terms, I can substitute with a value of 0. This 0, 0, 0, 0, this is the most significant bit and this is the least significant according to the function which I wrote. Since it's 0, 0, 0, 0 means binary value 0, 0, 0, 0 means it is equal to decimal value of 0. But my function doesn't consist of 0 terms, so I will put a value as 0. Next I will check with the next number 0, 0, 0, 1. Now my number 1 is available, 0, 0, 0, 1 also equal to 1. So since the min term is available, I put value as 1. And next this number is 2, the 2 is available, so I will put here. This particular cell is belongs to 3 by decimal value 3, but 3 is not available, so I will put the value as 0. Then this particular number is 4 and the 4 is available. Then this particular cell is belongs to 5, the 5 is available, and this cell is belonging to 7. 7 is not in my list in my function, so I will put 0. Then this number is 6, 6 is there in my function, so I will put value 1. Then this number is 12, 12 is there, so I will put value 1. 13 is not available, so I will put 0. 14 is available, I will put here 1. 15 is available, also I will put 1 here. Then this position is called 8, 8 is there in my function. Then 9 is not there, 10 is there, 11 is there. So by the way, I am going to apply or substitute the corresponding values based on my functions in my K-map. Now what is the next procedure is, I have to group and to produce a minimized expression. Okay, first way is we have to check, since this is a 4 rows and 4 columns, I have to check whether all the rows and all the columns consist of 1. When look at this schema 4 row 4 column, there are certain numbers of 0, hence 4 rows and 4 columns is of doing grouping to way of grouping is not possible for this particular case. So next step is I have to go to the next level called, let me check with either 2 rows and 4 column or 4 rows with 2 column consist of 1s. That is 2 adjacent rows and 4 adjacent columns having only 1s. So let me take 2 rows. So I check this and let me take 2 rows and 4 columns. These 4 columns I am checking. This column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4 and 2 rows. This row and this row are adjacent row. I am taking as a process. Whether it is consist of all ones? No, it is not consist of all ones. So I will take this 2 rows and 4 columns. This row and all the column 1, column 2, column 3, column, because it is 4, right? So all the columns I am checking, whereas here 2 zeros are there, so I can't be able to group it. So next I go to this particular 2, I am taking these 2 rows because this row and this row are adjacent, right? So here 1, 1, okay, 0, 0, so I can't be able to group it because I can if I want to group in this fashion means all the rows should be and consist of, all 2 rows should be consist of only ones, but here 2 zeros are there, so I can't possible. Now last step is these 2 rows, because this row, first row and last rows are also adjacent, because 0, 0, 1, 0, only one bit is changing. So let me check whether these rows and these rows all columns consist of ones, but this is not possible because here is 1 but here is 0, here is 1, here is 0, here is 0, here is 1, here is 1 and here is 0. So there are certain zeros are there in 2 rows while I am selecting. So this way of possible is not to group it. Now let me try with this case, whether I have 4 columns and 4 rows and 2 columns consist of ones. 4 rows means all the 4 rows, that is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, but I will choose only 2 adjacent columns. So let me check with this, let me select this first adjacent column and its adjacent column like this. But when I am selecting these 2 columns, here there are certain zeros are there, so I can't able to group. From this I am selecting with this number column and this column number. All the rows consist of 1 in this particular column, whereas here one particular cell doesn't having value 1, right? So I can't able to group this and this also. If instead of that, if this particular cell having value 1 means, that is if I have min term 0 in this function and I substituted with the value of 1 means I can group like this, okay. But now for this particular scenario of the given function, I can't able to group 2 rows, 34 rows 2 column based grouping. Hence this and these two rows is not possible. I'm checking and inspecting on these two columns, that two columns also not possible, then inspecting these two columns, then also it is not possible, and here also I'm checking, it is not possible. So hence 4 rows 2 column way of grouping is also not possible. So next step is I have to check with the 1 row 4 column is possible or 4 row 1 column is possible. Let me check whether 4 rows and 1 column is possible or not. 4 rows, 4 row means all the rows but only 1 column. So when I check with one, in this case here zeros is there, so I can't able to group. All the rows should be consist of 1 for this case. Okay, based on the selected column. Here when I select this particular 1 column, all the rows is not having ones. This column all the rows doesn't having ones, but here only I have all the rows as well. So I can group as a first group. This is the first way. Well, I check with an alternative, there will be no more operation. So next level is, since one stage is possible, so I'll finish up with this case. But there are there are some other ones are there. So what I have to do is I have to go in further depth level, like 2 rows 2 columns having any ones. When I check with 2 rows any 2 column having ones means, in this way only I have to choose, like these 2 rows and 2 column, or this 2 row and 2 column, this 2 row and 2 column, and this 2 row and 2 column, like this I have to check. But for this case I can able to group like this. Okay, but there is any other option means I can group these 2 rows, and these 2 column I can be able to group together. And any other operation is possible means no, here is no more possible. So next stage is I have to check with 2 rows 1 column or 1 row 2 column, 2 rows 1 column or 1 row 2 column. 1 row 2 column when I choose and means I can able to group this one. Similarly 2 row 1 column I can able to group this one. So totally I have connected all the, I have enclosed ones in the given K map with any one of the other minterms. That is, I grouped with any other minterm instead of making it as a standalone minterms, right? So this is the way I have grouped all together. Now totally group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, totally 5 groups are there for my function. So I can write like SSG1 plus group 2 plus group 3 plus group 4 plus group 5. Correct. Next stage is, let me select this one as a group 1. In this, what are the rows are selected? This row and this row are selected, and this column and this column are selected. And from these rows, what are the terms are very common? This particular term 1 and 1, and here 1 and 0. So I can, which is a common term means these 2 ones are common. So this particular position is belong to A position. I can write as A dot of column. What are the columns are selected? 0 0 1 0. This 0 0 column and 1 0 column, which is a common term means 0 term is common. That is second term, nothing but 0 term is common. The second term is nothing but D and the position of 0. So I can write as a D bar. So this row is, this particular group is finished. Next, second group. Let me have a second group like this. Let me choose this as a second group. Okay, so which row is selected? I have selected A bar B is a selected row, so I write A bar B as a selected row. And which column bar is selected means 0 0 1 0 I have selected. In this 0 0 are common, so I can write as a, that is first term is common, so I can write as a C bar, right? Similarly, next, this row I am selected as group 3. So in this case, which rows are selected? 2 rows are selected. The 2 rows are 0 0 and 1 0 row are selected, of which 0 first term is common. In the form of inverted form only it is common. So first term is A, so I can write as a bar dot of which column I am selected? This column I am selected, so I can write as it as C bar D. That is 0 1 is nothing but C bar D, like this I can write. And next I got selected this one as a G4 cell, hence I can here same thing only. So which rows are selected, of which, yes, here A is a common term, so I can write as A1, and whereas column wise, which column is common means first term is common in the form of non-inverted term, so I can write AC. Okay, A dot C. And the next one is, this one is selected. Here all the rows are selected, that is 0 0 and 1 1. 0 of 0 getting, 0 of 1 is getting cancelled, 0 of 1 is getting cancelled, so A term is totally neglected. Here 0 of 1 and 1 of 0, anyhow all the rows are getting cancelled or neglected or get equal to that of 1. And finally the first last column is selected, which is equal to C D bar. So this is my minimized function, right? This is a way you can start do your minimization technique. Now let me try to express the same thing with the help of demonstration. Let me show the same K map with the help of paper and the same min terms such as 0 1 2 and 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. This is similar to value which is expressed in your previous sum. Got it? The same terms only I am here mark it up. Okay, now what is the procedure is how to group, right? I said, right? So first you can fold whichever you want, so right now let me fold like this. When I fold like this means what happens now, when I fold like this, if I fold like this means, right, this 1 and this 0 will try to merge, but unfortunately since they are not equal, the possible of merging is, it is not possible, actually it is not possible to combine together. Whereas this 2 1 and this 2 1 can be combined together, this one and this one can be combined together, so like that I can group these two together, that is these two terms can be combined together, that is this one and this cell and this cell and this cell, this cell and this cell and this two cell, that is entirely I can group together like this, or I can group like this if you want, right? And if I suppose to fold like this means, in this way this one and this one can be combined, and this one and this one can be further combined. Finally these two cell are having one only, again I can combine to form a single cell, hence all the ones are combined to form a single cell, I can group as a single group, right? This is what I combine in this sum, right? So this is the first group. Second group I have grouped like this, right? So just do like, if I fold like this, okay, entirely like a normal, here it is, there will be no folding and there will be no bumps or something, no there will be no actually this it can be easily foldable. So when I do like this way of holding, this one and this one and this one and this one can be combined together, so I can make this is another group. Similarly if I group, if I fold from here, if I stop and I fold like this, okay, I can combine these alone, that is this cell and this cell and this cell and this cell can be combined together, hence I can group like this, I can group like this, like here which I group like, in this way I can group like this, right? But one more important thing is, if suppose here if I don't have one means, right, what is the way to group this particular one means, we can group like this only, but instead of that way of grouping I can group like this also, that is this one and this one and this one and this one, I can group like this, that is I can group like this. Okay, if you want you can group like that also, there will be no issue at all, right? Similarly this one is pending, so this one is pending, so I can group like this, because this cell and this row and this row, this particular row and this particular row are adjacent to each other, and single column I am selected, so there will be these two cells are actually adjacent. Similarly this row and this row, if I in the previous grouping here these two one are group, or this two one are grouped, right? I said, right, here this row and this row actually adjacent, and also this row and this row is adjacent, and this column and this column are adjacent, hence I group in this single, then I grouped as a single group, right? Instead of making a group 1 and group 2, instead of grouping this is a separate group and this is a separate group, I can group together as a single group. Okay, this is a way how to group it. I hope you have I cleared you how to make a grouping. So let me try with another example, right? Okay, here I am going to do with some another example. The function having sum of min terms such as 0, 2, then maybe 4, then maybe 5 and 8, 10 and 13, 15. Suppose I have min terms like this. Actually I was making wantedly only. If suppose the min terms is like this, means how do you group it? That's the problem. Here also maximum number is 15 and this is it can be represented with the 4-bit variable. So let me write that function f2 as a comma b comma c comma d, like this I can write it up, and a may be a must be a most significant bit and d must be a least significant bit. So in this case a b I am chosen for row wise and c and d is chosen for column wise. Okay, hence this particular position is meant for 0 and this position for 1, this cell is meant for 1, this mention is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? If I do like this, the position based on the min values, that is 0, 0 means the corresponding values will be open 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. These are the positions I will get it up. Got it. Next I have to substitute the values, such as 0 I have, so I will put value 1, and 2 I have, I will put the value 1, 4, then 5, then 8, 10 and 13 and 15. Let me have one more number. Let me have number 7 here. So number 7. Okay. Other than this position, I have to substitute with 0 because such minterms are there not in my function. Now let me know how to group it. So let me check as usual. The level of 4 cross 4 is all the 4 rows and 4 adjacent columns having ones, means it be put as we can group it as we can leave to group. Otherwise you search work with 2 cross 4 or 4 cross 2. Then if it is not possible, 1 cross 4 or 4 cross 1 groups, we have to adjacent groups rows and columns should be check it up. Otherwise you have to check with the 2 cross 2, then 2 cross 1 or 1 cross 2 rows I have to check it up. At last I have check with 1 cross 1. Right, this is a way you have to group it as a normal way you have to do it. So now in what way I can able to group it up. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay. So as it is, I am going to demonstrate with the same values. So this is similar to that of the values which I have drawn in the previous schema. Now I am just trying to tell you with the help of how to group it. So obviously from the number of min terms in my 4 variable KMap, I hope we don't able to group like a 4 cross 4 or 2 cross 4 way of grouping, or 4 cross 2 way of grouping, or even 4 cross 1 or 1 cross 4 way of grouping is not possible. The first most level is 2 cross 4. We have to check it up. While checking up, from your perspective itself, we can able to find it up. These 2 rows and these 2 column 1 and column 2 and column 3 and row 2 and row 3 are very much adjacent and make it as a single group. I hope you itself able to find it up. So I can make a first group. Got it? What will be my second group? Right? How do you find the second group? In this case, what is the alternative way is, let me try to fold it up by folding. Okay, this actually previously I have grouped this one and this one and this one and this one. By folding these 2 ones and these 2 1 and 4 ones are grouped, and also by further folding also, by further folding this, all the ones are grouped together form a single one. So this here itself 1, here also 1, internal inside also 1 and 1. So finally it is 1 only. So that is why I grouped previously. Got it? Now I am doing with another operation, that is by folding this one and this one. Similarly, top to one also merge together, right? Okay, let me group like this. So here is also 1, the back also 1. Similarly, bottom also 1, at its back also 1, right? Now what I'm doing is I'm again folding. Okay, by again folding, what will happen? Here also 1, its back also 1, its inner also 1 and 1 only. So it shows what actually it shows, these 4 ones are adjacent, that is this row and this row are adjacent actually, and this column and this column is adjacent to each other. Hence this one and this one, this one and this one cannot be able to group separately. We can group as a single group, as like this. Okay, like this we can group it up. Next, asked whether all the ones are grouped, means no, one particular one is missing actually. So shall I keep as a prime implicant without mingle with any other group, or I can try to group with any other element if it is possible, or if I think about, means I hope I can able to group like this, which is already grouped only, but no problem, I can group either by this or with the already grouped like this. Actually this is already grouped term, or this particular one is already grouped one, so I can group with in this manner or this manner. So it is up to your wish, you can group it up. This is also a right answer, or this is also a right answer. Hence finally I have group 1, group 2, group 3. Totally 3 groups are there. Hence my function f2 equal to group 1 plus group 2 plus group 3. Like this I can able to write. So let me have group 1 like this. So which is a common rows? Common row is B row is common, dot of which is a common column adjacent column, D column is a adjacent column. So I can write like this. So for this particular group is GD. Next, for this group, I said right, this is a one group, right? So let us assume that this is my group 2 as a group 2. If I consider this is a group 2, means now tell me which is a common row term. Means B bar term is a common B term, because 0 is there for B term only, not for the A term. So B bar is a common term, and the column, which one is a common column, means as usual D column is a common column, so D bar, right? This is a G2. Then for G3, which is a common row, actually only one row is there, so I have to write that particular row like A bar B, because 0 1 means A bar B, A term is B A bar, and B position is considered B only, so I write A bar B, dot of which column is common column, C bar is a common column, so I can write like C bar. Hence this is my reduced expression. I hope you understood with the 2 example. Let me use some other exercise work. You try to solve by yourself, and tomorrow I hope you can able, if you have any queries, please put your question on us. Thank you.